All right, let's talk about Deshaun Watson and the, not great start to his Browns career, I think is fair to say. Now, listen, obviously, there's a lot we can say about Deshaun Watson. Plenty I've already said about Deshaun Watson. Feel free to, search Jackson Cougar Sports, Deshaun Watson. You'll hear, plenty of thoughts on the more serious side of things and, all that stuff. But just strictly talking football, I think there's been a debate with Watson and not really a debate, but every time I talked about him and made film studies about his play and stuff like that, I feel like there's always a decent amount of pushback of people saying, well, who cares? He hasn't played football in forever. We didn't expect him to be good, which is totally fair and totally valid. But I still like to make film studies about it and talk about it. And let's just talk about what happened in his return to the NFL and in his first year in Cleveland. What went wrong? What went right? And then maybe what we can learn from this, if anything. So starting off with this play, it's a pretty simple play. You're going to, it's going to be zone coverage that the Ravens are in. They're going to have a receiver who's going to be in the middle of the, area where you can make this throw to. You have, a receiver running a deep route. It's going to take away the safety and another corner as well. So, there's, and also play action can move players in. There's a way the way this play can work. As you see, Watson takes the snap. He is able to run to play action. And you see that, again, this isn't open. It's wide open. I mean, this is as open as it gets at the NFL level. As you see, Watson is able to make this throw, and they are able to pick up a decent chunk play. And the reality is, I thought that, for the most part, listen, there were some missed throws for sure. But for the most part, when guys were open, he was able to hit the open guy. Like, it just wasn't an issue where they just, when things were going well, he just was not able to make something happen, which is obviously the first test here for someone like Deshaun Watson, which again, of course, we kind of already knew. But also stuff like this is kind of an extension of that, but it's still, I think, worth bringing up, is this is a lot of what the Browns like to do, a lot of what Stefanski likes to do, which is sort of, run play actions, have guys in motion, and have the quarterback in motion. I mean, this is a very unique play where Watson is going to take the run to play action to the offense's right, but then he's going to move towards his own left and then make the throw. So it's kind of a throw across against the body by design by Stefanski, which is very fascinating. Like, watch how when this play begins, I mean, it's working, right? I mean, you definitely have a player who's open. This play call worked as designed, so there you go. Obviously, one of the question marks here, one of the issues potentially for the Cleveland Browns is just, can Watson throw across his body right here? However, as you see, he is going to be able to do that. So again, one of the things I thought about once Watson went to the Browns is that I do think he's a very good fit for this offense. I do think he is someone who can, run the offense very well, and I do think that kind of he can run these types of plays very well, which is what Stefanski likes to do. I mean, you saw every now and then these kind of throws would really give Baker Mayfield some trouble here and there, not like a ton, but definitely you saw that it would happen. So for Watson, the fact that these throws do not get him in trouble is definitely very good. Now, let's get over to some of the negatives. And this play is actually kind of an example of both a positive and a negative, I would say, where it's going to be, first off, it's zone coverage that the Steelers are in. So that's the way that this play is designed. Watson's going to take the snap. He's going to look down the field, and he doesn't love what he sees, and there is pressure coming. Again, Pittsburgh tends to get pressure pretty quickly, and this is where Watson's going to do what he did really when he was playing at his best in Houston, was he was able to move in the pocket, right? That's what he was able to kind of become known for a little bit with the Texans, is how well he navigated the pocket, and he's going to show that off here. Watch him do a successful job at getting outside the pocket and being able to locate someone who is open right here. The reality is, this is something I thought that, while he certainly had some areas of his game that were significantly worse in the small sample size we saw in a Browns uniform, this was not one of those areas. He was still just as good as he ever has been at navigating the pocket, which again is his biggest strength, so that's definitely good to see if you're a Browns fan. However, this throw is just off. I mean, he just threw that one too high. And that was kind of a weird thing we saw with Watson last year, was his accuracy was just all over the place. And I don't know if that's just because he's cold and hasn't played in a while and kind of needs more reps. Probably that's it. I would assume that that's it. It makes more sense. I never really understood why the Browns didn't just have him play like all of preseason. I felt like that would have been the right strategy. If you're going to just throw him in no matter how well he plays at the second half of last season when they were in the playoff race, well, wouldn't you, if this season is all about getting Watson ready for next season, wouldn't you want him in as many reps as possible? I didn't fully get that. But either way, I mean, that was just a weird thing. And it wasn't just accuracy issues that happened with Watson. It really wasn't. Like something like this, it's once again going to be a zone coverage play that the Pittsburgh Steelers are in, and they have a concept, the Browns do, that's designed to, get guys in gaps in coverage. That's how they're running this play. Watch how when this play begins, you're going to see Watson take the snap. He looks down the field, and I really don't know what exactly he sees here. I mean, there are players who are like, okay, if you had a drone and could just drop the football in, you could see a couple guys who could be open, but there isn't really a window to hit any of the guys down the field. There are checkdowns that will get you a first down, basically. I mean, the first down marker is at the 42-yard line, so all you have to do is throw one there, and you could easily get a first down. Instead, I don't really know exactly what Watson's logic is here, but as you see, he throws the ball down the field and it's going to be intercepted. And I don't know why he did that. I mean, again, this isn't really an issue he has in his games. I don't know if it was just a small sample size thing, if he just happened to make a few mistakes, this season. Maybe because he was missing some throws, he got in his own head, felt like he had to, do too much, and it ended up backfiring. That's something that, I think is possibly true, perhaps. Again, definitely was cold, hasn't played football in a while. Maybe it's simply just his mind was on other things for so long that when he comes back and tries to play football, he just isn't as, ready for these types of plays too, and isn't, quite as sharp as he sometimes has been. I don't know, maybe stuff like that. Again, you also have plays like this where it's zone coverage to have a little route just designed to get a little bit of yards, right? Get a little bit underneath. This is supposed to be a pretty simple play, but the issue is you have a player who, can come in and maybe make a good read. Like, look, watch what happens right when this play begins. I mean, you see that there is a Pittsburgh Steeler who's ready to jump in and jump this route. And again, maybe you could argue Watson, it's hard read to notice, hard to catch this kind of thing in real time. But the reality is Watson did not notice this. And it is going to end up being an interception, and it's going to be returned all the way to the 25-yard line. So, again, this is what happened, right? Some people are going to say, I don't care about any of it because it was, he hadn't played football in so long and it was a small sample size, so who cares? I'm pretty much in that camp too. I think it's a little bit concerning. I think it's a tad concerning about what happened. I do, about how he came in and really didn't, if you're a Browns fan, how he came in and really did not perform well. I would be a tad concerned about that. I think it's definitely fair to say, you know what, I'll be concerned if he starts off slow in 2023. That's probably where I'm at, where it's like, if he comes in and, it has a good week one in 2023, then okay, who cares about this stuff? But if he comes in and maybe has a bad first couple of weeks then too, then I think you do have to start wondering, does he have the yips potentially? I don't think it's crazy to think that could happen. But again, I think what feels more likely is he just was very raw, hadn't played football in a while, and had his mind on other things. And when he came in, he just wasn't quite ready. But now giving him a full year, giving him more reps. Again, should play a ton in preseason. I think. I don't. If he gets injured, he gets injured. I don't know why I didn't have him play last year. I didn't get that at all. If he gets hurt, whatever. You're missing. He's only going to play in the last 6 games anyway. But yeah, I don't know. Very interesting stuff with this stuff. But yeah, those are my thoughts on Watson's play. What are yours? Let me know in the comments below. Always love hearing from you. And of course, as always, thanks for watching.